Hello everybody, this is Alaskan Yoda and today I will be showing you how to use the gear and why it is the best weapon in Valheim. For this video we will be focusing on the Blackmetal Atgeir, and this is because it is the highest level of gear and the last one you'll ever need. To start us off, we're going to take a look at the Atgeir's effectiveness against Great Dwarves. As you can see, they're not really, Great Dwarves aren't really weak against the Atgeir, but it gets the job done. Next on the list are trolls. Trolls are the thing that the Atgeirs are strongest against because trolls have a weakness to piercing damage, and that is the only kind of damage that a Atgeir does. Here you can see that I'm running away from a troll to regain stamina. Because when you're fighting a troll, you want to try to hit it with a 3-hit combo, which for the Atgeir does triple damage on the 3rd hit. So you want to run away until you have enough stamina to do that. Here's another troll example. This time it's a rock throwing troll instead of the tree troll. Tree trolls are harder though, so this shouldn't be a problem either. Now I'm transitioning more into swamp mobs like the Draugrs behind me. Draugrs aren't anything special, they just kind of deal normal damage. As you can see, I start off with a special attack. If you don't know what to do in any situation, the Atgeir special attack is always a safe option. It does a whopping 630 stagger damage, which is enough to stagger every single mob in the game except for stone golems and bosses, of course. Here you can see I'm fighting 2 bow Draugrs. I'm kind of dodging back and forth, making sure not to take any damage. This doesn't really matter at my point in the game where I have strong enough armor that it won't do anything anyway. But it's good for if you're just like coming into the swamp for the first time with, say, a bronze Atgeir. Oh, but a little bit of lag there. Over here you'll see this leech. I try to jump in and do a fancy move, but fail. Somehow it's able to outswim it. That's not normal. Yeah, get the leech kill. Over here there are 2 blobs. Blobs are weak enough that the Atgeir, it does okay against them. But later we'll see it does not do so well against the Uther, which is one of its very few downsides. There's another blob. I believe a wraith comes soon. Yes, here it is. Wraiths, actually, they don't have any resistance to pierce damage, so it actually deals with them quite nicely. As you can see here, seen another wraith. The main thing to keep in mind when fighting wraith with an Atgeir is to make sure that it comes at you from the side and not directly above, because the Atgeir is very directional on how you use it. The Atgeir is not the best weapon, but definitely one of the top 3 weapons for clearing crits. Does pretty good damage to all the mobs that you will encounter, and we'll see in a bit how it can help you deal with those spawners on the floor. as you can see, when you walk into the room and use your special, you're able to damage all the mobs around you as well as the spawner itself. So it'll break as you're fighting the other mobs, which is pretty handy. Like if you were using a sword, you'd have to choose whether you wanted to attack the spawner or the mobs. Next up is the Oozer, which is probably the largest pitfall of the Atgeir. They're resistant against pierce damage, and because that's the only damage that the Atgeir does, they're pretty strong, especially early game when you don't have good armor to block the poison damage. I show a few clips here of me trying to best the Oozer without taking poison damage. I don't really succeed. Well, that was interesting. One-shotting a blob with the Atgeir. This is one scenario where you could potentially defeat a Oozer with the Atgeir, is a sneak damage. But you'll see later that I mistime my attack, and as a result take poison damage from the blob. Next up, we are going to transition to the mountain biome, which is home to the wolves. As you can see, wolves are probably the most imminent danger while you're there because of how common they are and because of how quickly they can attack. They also tend to spawn in packs, which makes it more difficult to fight them. As you can see, a good method of defeating them is using the special attack to stun them and then finishing them off with a normal attack. The walking black wolf is a fairing, which is like basically a werewolf. They do a considerably large amount of damage. Considerably large. They do quite a bit of damage, so you want to avoid getting hit. Fortunately, they're pretty easy to dodge. Here I'm fighting two of them. I get hit. That would definitely do a lot more damage if I did not have endgame armor. So that's something to watch out for in the early game. Next, we're going to be taking a look at how to fight a golem. Under normal circumstances, you would use your pickaxe to fight these, because you're going to have that whether you're maining the Atgeir or not. However, for the sake of the video, I will show you how to kill it with the Atgeir. Golems have a lot of health, so you always want to be rested before you attack it so that you're able to regain stamina quickly, because it's going to be a longer battle than most. Here I'm trying to sneak up on it, because if you are able to do a sneak attack on it, you get a crit bonus. However, I do not get that in this situation. There are two types of golems in Valheim. There is the down smash golem, I guess we can call it, and that is this version. It has two club-like arms that it uses for a ground pounding attack. And then there's another kind which will be featured after this one. When you're fighting these, it's best to not focus on the special attack of the Atgeir so much as getting the triple hit combos, because the third hit just does so much more damage that it's worth it to tank like a hit for it. This special attack on the gear has a small chance that it will stun the golem. It's very unlikely, however, I think stun damage is... the chance of being stunned is based on the total health. So... here's the second type of golem that I mentioned before. This golem uses more of a slash attack, and also I think it can use a stab variation. There you see its slash attack, and then there's the stab. This golem, if you had a pickaxe, you can stand on these one's heads and just like pickaxe it to death without taking any damage. As you see, I'll demonstrate here, except for not necessarily because I'm using the gear. Oh, that's rare. Just this moment ago you saw the golem got stunned from the special attack, which is fairly rare. And there it happened again. And there I went for it again, hoping that it would stun him, and I'd be able to get the final hits off, but it did not. The last biome I'm going to cover in my gear tutorial is the plains biome. In the plains, you're going to be fighting feelings, locks, and mosquitoes. As you can see, I'm killing some feelings fairly easily, but mainly to make fighting that locks easier. For locks, there is one main strategy that I use, which is staggering it with the special attack, and then hitting it with several normal attacks afterwards. This is because when a mob is staggered, it takes double damage, and if I'm able to get a triple shot on it while it's still staggered, it does a whopping like 400 damage about, which is nearly half of a Lox's health, so it's normally worth it to just like tank and hold out until you get one of those. As you can see here, I'm trying to get a stealth shot on one of them. Stealth shot also do extra damage. This Lox fight is kind of ruined by that mosquito, but I still get a couple of good hits in. Jumping on top of Lox is a good way to regenerate stamina, assuming you don't fall off like I just did. Oh, bit of lag. And here we're going to see the stun and then repeated stab, which will pretty easily finish off any Lox at half health. And here we've cut to the last logs. It appears the sound is missing on this one, but you can see that it got dealt with pretty easily, even when it was at full health. Next is the new mob called growths. They're pretty hard if you get hit, but if you're able to dodge them successfully, you can get in close and just stab them a few times and it's all good. Next is a trick with mosquitoes. The gear has pretty long range, so if you time it correctly, you can kill a mosquito before it can damage you, like that. And lastly, feeling villages, the gear is definitely like one of the best, in my opinion, the best weapon for fighting feeling villages. Mainly because its special attack allows you to damage entire hordes of feelings while knocking them all back and stunning them all, making it so that you don't have to take any damage to deal that large amount of damage. And in this situation, you can see I am at not the best of health, so I've taken the hill, because as Obi-Wan Kenobi says, I have the high ground. And it somehow works. The special attack has quite a bit of knockback, so you can kind of just play King of the Hill for a while you regenerate stamina and health. Yeah. One thing you do need to watch out for, you can see that I have Bone Mass, but Bone Mass does not protect against the fire from the wizards. And lastly, this is a clip of me fighting the Berserker. You can apply the same tactics that you use for a lock, which is the stun and then just stab it until it dies. The last topic I will be going over is PvP, which is not the most even way of telling how good a weapon is, but because it's highly based on skill, but I have a few matches with a few different people to kind of compare the weapon strengths with the gear. Here is the Blackmetal sword with the Blackmetal tower shield against the Blackmetal gear, and they both people have the same armor, me and Gaming Knife, and I'm gonna do 3 rounds against Gaming Knife, and yeah, I'll kind of show how they turn out. You can see one tactic that I've been using a lot, or I use a lot in these duels, is the jump and then special attack, because while you're in midair you obviously can't get hit, or it's a lot harder. And then I just kill them with the 3-hit combo. 3-hit combo actually does triple damage on people as well. But the jump in midair and then special attack allows you to be basically invincible in the air, land, and then immediately attack from all directions, so they can't really dodge it unless they block or like roll out of the way. And if they block or roll out of the way, they don't have enough time to get a counter hit in before you can get out of the way. So it's either a basically guaranteed hit or a no damage exchange, which is why I do it a lot in these duels. The one thing the gear is not so good at countering is a shield. As you'll see in these duels, it's pretty hard to break through the shield if the enemy holds it up the entire time. Here we're slightly concerned for the door, as you can see it's not doing so hot when I hit it with the gear. But luckily it was a 2-star, so it didn't instantly die. Now it's just a kind of waiting game until the other person messes up, because we're both fairly good at PvP, but and the sword and shield combination is pretty evenly matched with the gear, so it's kind of just a matter of time until someone messes up. Yeah, you can see in that final battle there where I got killed. I kept going for the stab when I should have gone for the stun so that it would cancel his big attack, like I was doing earlier. But I kept going in for the stab, hoping for a triple hit, which would finish him off. But um, it did not work out. This last duel between me and Gaming Knife lasted quite a while. That's why it sped up quite a bit. There are a few interesting moments throughout the duels I slowed down for, but this one mainly just took like a really long time because we had kind of figured out each other's playstyle, and we're just waiting out the other person until they made a mistake. And there I get a triple hit combo. The triple hit combo actually activates whether you hit them or not. It's just like the third attack consecutively. That's why he got the triple hit activated on him on the second attack, because I did an attack uh, in between hits. Then you can see there he got a special off on me, and the sword special is ridiculously powerful. Uh, Here we kind of just go back and forth and heal. The rules for the duel were I could use the Atgeir, and then my opponent could use any other weapon. So that's why you kind of see him switch throughout the match with the bow and the sword and the shield. Uh, just to prove the supremacy of the Atgeir. Alright, and you can see here that it slowed down again. I believe this is the final exchange. Um, and it is, yep. Um, what allowed me to defeat him was I think he gave up on the shield at some point. This is opponent number 2, Jimmy. Um, Jimmy has recently started to main the Crystal Battle Axe as a weapon. It's very good against mobs, but you know, pretty terrible at PvP. See here, he's contemplating his life decision to use the axe. You see here, I'm still using my jump and special attack quite a bit. And then at this point he just gives up on the axe and switches to a Blackmetal sword and shield. At the end there, we kind of just traded blows until one of us died. I think I got the triple hit on him, but he might have been low enough that he died anyway. And the final battle is against the Tofu, who will be using a Blackmetal sword, serpent shield. Everybody in this tournament, I guess, not really, but everyone in these duels has been using the same level armor, which is fully maxed padded armor. And everyone has had the same food on both sides with the same rested. Keep it as even as possible. Here I decide to sit down in the middle of the fight for some reason. Pretty sure I fumbled my keys right there. I do the jump in special again, and then I just go in for the stabbing and finish him off. Alright, that's all for this video. If you enjoyed, be sure to like, perhaps leave a comment and subscribe. Maybe. I probably won't do this again because this was a lot of work and editing, and now I think I've outgrown the Windows default editor. But thanks for watching, and I'll see y'all next time.